Here's a question of the day. Who is at fault? Adam or Eve? Adam was older. He had paradise. But then God said, it is not good for the man to continue to be alone. I am going to make him a helper for him as a complement of him. Now God has been forming from the ground every wild animal of the field and every flying creature of the heavens. And he began bringing them to the man to see what he would call each one. And whatever the man would call each living creature, that became its name. So he had one job, naming the animals. Bird. Is that a thing flying in the air? I call it a bird. What's that thing swimming? I call it a fish. That big thing, I didn't call it elephant. So the man named all of the domestic animals, the flying creatures of the heavens, and every wild animal of the field. But for man there was no helper as to complement of him. So God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman. That "wo" means feminine man, like female, feminine male. And he brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This is the last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, because from man she was taken. This is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh. And both of them continue to be naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed. But then this snake came. It was the most cautious of the wild beast of the field that God had made. And it said to the woman, did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden? At this, the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it. Otherwise, you will die. At this, the serpent said to the woman, you certainly will not die. For God knows that in the very day you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and bad. Now, see, that's the serpent. He told a little truth with a lie. He twisted it. He was right about one thing. Your eyes will be open, knowing good and bad. But he said you certainly will not die. So he twisted things. Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was something desirable to the eyes. Oh, it looked nice. Look at that. Yes, the tree was pleasing to look at. So she began taking of its fruit and eating it. Afterward, she also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it. Afterward, she also gave, then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized that they were naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made loin covering for themselves. Uh-oh. Later, they heard the voice of God as he was walking in the garden about the breezy part of the day. And the man and his wife hid from the face of God among the trees of the garden. And God kept calling to man and saying to him, "Where are you?" Finally, he said, I heard your voice and of the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. At that, he said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten the tree from which I command you not to eat?" The man said, The woman, see how he blamed her now? "The woman whom you gave to me, she gave me fruits from the tree, so I ate." God then said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman replied, the serpent deceived me, so I ate." Then God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are the cursed one out of all the domestic animals, out of all the wild animals of the field. On your belly you will go, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head, and you will strike him in the heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly increase the pangs of your pregnancy. In pain you will give birth to children, and your longing will be for your husband, and he will dominate you." And to Adam he said, "Because you listened to your wife's voice and ate from the tree concerning which I gave you this command, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground on your account. In pain you will eat its produce all the days of your life. It will grow thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the vegetation of the field. In the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For dust you are, and dust you will return." So whose fault was it, Adam or Eve? Eve persuaded Adam, but she claimed she was deceived by the snake. The snake told a twisted lie. So who would you blame, Adam or Eve? Now, Adam could have said, "No, I'm not going to eat it." No. But he chose to eat because his wife told him. But he knew more because he was on earth longer. Eve wanted more. Eve had all this. She wanted more than what she can chew. No pun intended. As soon as that snake, "It is so," Eve was persuaded. But she knew. So who would you blame? Adam or Eve?